Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The time is um, 4 minutes to midnight, and the date is 16th of May, 2013. Um, Not to tell you a little bit about something that happened today. This is a very important video. Please watch it. The guy that comes sometimes in my house, and he introduced himself as just as a judge. He was telling me he has to make his mind up about something within 6 months' time. And he told me it is not that judges doesn't see this money that has been paid to the Iranian mafia, and the fact is they're not going to be able to, UK government is not going to be able to give this money back to me for following reasons. One, they have something on the government. They don't want they have all the documents and proof as in regards to the date that the permission for my death was given at the court, um, and also they had a permission to uh, revoke my citizenship, which was appealed at the court. Uh, Much of the money has already been expended. Uh, as I said, a substantial amount of that money was paid to someone in front of my eyes, which if there would be a court one day, I'll be mentioning at the court. And they simply say these Iranians are not going to be happy if we take the money from them, and they're going to come after you and after your family. And this is what they blatantly say. I mean, we will kill him. We will kill him. I mean, UK government has put my life and my family life in jeopardy, in a great danger. Anything that happens to any member of my family, UK government is responsible in any country in the world. UK government has already made payments to people to harass me and my family. A lady which I see sometimes, she's from a group that helped to save my life, and let's imagine, I'm not going to mention any name, that she's connected to Mr. and Mrs. Smith in certain palace somewhere. She was telling me, listen, don't take these people to the court and don't mention anything about the time they come on your door and threaten your family. You put us in problem. We were the one who helped to save your life. And Mr. and Mrs. Smith perhaps wouldn't have done that if they knew this is what you're gonna do. So don't take these people to the court, and they're not gonna give you any of that money, and you're just gonna have to live with this. And the guy who told me he's some sort of a judge, he says it's nothing personal, and you have to look after your own family, you have to look after your own group, and sometimes the people you are struggling against are a lot stronger than you are, and you can't do anything with it. And the people who did many bad things to you going to be punished in the next life. Not this life. This life there will not be any punishment. You will not be getting that money at all. Um, and they'll go after your family. They'll threaten you. So the this thing is happening under the close observation of the certain Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I'm not going to name them, but if they do watch this video, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, this is what's happening in your country, and it is a shameful, and I don't really, to be honest with you, the death is would be a most pleasurable thing that you can ask for in this situation. But I'm sorry for you that these things are actually happening in front of your eyes, and you're so powerless to do anything about it. Basically, the people who were helping me to stay alive, saying, do not mention about these things. and like kidnapping. They come on your door with the police, with a gun, and this and that. The threats to your families. You're putting us in a lot of trouble. And the guy who called himself a judge says, I'm going to have to make my decision in some sort of a 6 months time, and everybody comes down. They try to make you look like as you're a very aggressive person. I've contacted the European Court of Law. Most of my phone calls are diverted. Anytime I try to make a phone calls to the lawyers, they simply ignore me, or they keep telling me the people who have made this allegation about you, police doesn't have to give them to you, government's not gonna give them to you, they're not gonna go into jail, they shouldn't have to, and it just in a very funny situation that you're boxed in and you're getting tortured from every possible side, and certain people calling themselves a god people from behind the scene, they are also in favor of you getting tortured 24/7. They talk to you, tell you about going back to Iran, so they torture you until you go back, knowing your execution have been arranged with the Iranian government. There are many things that has happened in that court which they did not want me to see, they did not want me to know. And the main thing they're actually saying, even if the UK government give you the money, the mafia will come in after you to get that money off you. Uh, that will clearly explain that I would be needing a 24 hours protection a day. And my family. Unfortunately, even an animals could not be acting the way the UK government is acting. The terrorist government of UK government that will drug somebody in order to carry out a terror attack in their own country in order to use for the political purposes or whatever other reasons, and they will pay certain woman, certain partner of this person to claim she was raped by him, clearly was paid by the UK government, and then they threaten you and your family in order to not to take these people to the court and many other things. It is horrifying, ladies and gentlemen. It is horrifying that the people at the highest level of the UK government are aware of this thing, and they're sending messages to me that they cannot do anything about this. I mean, at the highest level within the government, everybody's literally, you name, um, you name anyone, really, to be quite honest, in the government. I mean, certain people that have a cut in the money, there are certain ministers and other people. My MP does not give me any appointment. She has been advised not to help me at any cost. UK government have a lot of things to hide in this matter. Yeah, they have a lot of things that have been mentioned in that court that they have to hide. And members of the Iranian government, the allegations of the serious allegations are literally came from um, as I said, the Iranian mosque and the Iranian official from the Iranian government. Police are brutally harassing me, and since the time I have made the allegation, I have called the police in regards to the incident that happened on my door with the police and the police and Mr. Azam Mehdad, one of the guys who was in charge of that money, who has that money, as refusing to give that money to the to me and to the UK government, and blackmailing the UK government. They blackmailing the UK government. Literally, listen, if you guys trying to take this money from us, we will give him all the information, and many people are going to go to the jail. Many people are going to go to the jail, and is more than 2 to 500 people in this operation that will go to jail and do a serious timing. And the judge, the guy who called himself a judge, and said, listen, it's nothing personal, and we cannot sacrifice so many people on one person. They're stronger than you are. You are the one who's going to lose, and you are the one who's going to suffer, and the decision he's going to come up with within a few months' time is nothing personal. So the person who actually told me there's nothing personal about the decisions that he's going to come up with. So that's another indication that the decisions have been already made to allow me to stay in this country or not. The main objective of the terrorist government of UK, disgusting government of UK, is to get me out, to be assassinated as soon as possible, to keep my mouth shut. Unfortunately, I am under the unhumane way of torture. This is happening with the knowledge and willing of the people at the highest level within the UK government, at the highest level within the UK government, at the highest level within the UK government. And they're literally telling me, you are a very weak person, and we're not going to be able to help you out in this matter, and they're a lot stronger. They'll go after your family even if we give that money to you. That money you cannot have. You cannot have this information. They're blackmailing the government. I mean, how can they blackmail the government? They already know the whole thing, when the court, when everything else that has been happening. I believe there's certain videos is even possible has been shown at the courts, which shows how horrifying the matter is. The percentage of the money that was paid at the on the court in court in 2012 has been agreed and was paid to the judge as well. This is another thing that I was told. Unfortunately, that's how disgusting the justice system is in the UK. And he told me, when even when you go to the court, there is not gonna be, the judges would see that, but they're not gonna do anything about it. Simply, um, I'm under a massive amount of pressure. I'm under a massive amount of torture. People at the highest level within the UK government. As I said, this Mr. and Mrs. Smith also seeing the whole thing, and I cannot last another month in this situation, really, not another 6 months. I'm contacting the European Court of Law, but these gangsters are making it really hard. They even have connections within the European Court of Law. But of course, the European Court of Law is saying you have to take certain routes in order to get to European Court of Law. But unfortunately, the European Court of Law uh, is not aware of my situation in the United Kingdom, how horrifying it is, and the people at the highest level within the UK government are doing this. And the judge who told me the decision is not personal, and you're at this moment of time you have your health, but within a few months' time you might not have, and many other things, many other threats, to be quite honest with you, I've received today on the 16th of May, which right now is 17, as it has gone past the midnight. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, the situation is horrifying. The Iranian mafia is blackmailing the terrorist government of UK. Terrorist government of UK is telling me they're willing to sacrifice me in order to, as I said, keep the image, keep millions of pounds that have been paid out, percentage to the judges, percentage to the Iranian mafia. Their police officers have a cut, MI5 members have a cut. The ministers, the very same minister who has signed many of the paperwork in my case, also have received a large percentage of this money, and this is happening before the eyes of the many people within the government of UK, many people at the highest level within the government of UK. But unfortunately, this is the way the world goes. I mean, the stronger person will always be in charge of everything. We will rape your mother in front of you. We make you watch it. We will follow you anywhere in the world you go. We will take all that money from you. You are not fucking English. And the one of the persons who told me, who came from the, let's say, certain person in the palace, they've told me you came from a very average family. You came from a very low sort of which is not extremely low class in terms of maybe having a lot of money, and not being comparable to many people who live in the big houses and have a lot of other things. And UK government is not going to be able to give you all that money, and because you're from a lower background family, and this money is ours and everything else. I mean, just imagine where you're getting tortured by the people at the highest level within the government. The videos at my house, certain videos are getting recorded, certain moments of my private timing are shown to other people that are talking about it in front of me, even right now, even in front of the judges and many other people. Ladies and gentlemen, my situation is horrifying, 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 and so far nobody has actually helped. Um, but I'm not scared of anything. I have a God on my side, and I'm hoping the God will help me to defeat these monsters. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.